morning, everyone. What we're going to start off making today is some Dutch oven artisan bread. And I'm going to say this before I get started. I'm going to be using Ancient Grains gluten-free all-purpose flour mix. And I love this, especially for breads. However, let me tell you to begin with, you do need more water with it. As you know, different gluten-free flour mixes absorb different amounts of water, and this is really a thirsty flour mix, so it does take more. Normally, you have 2 cups of water if you're going to start with your normal, just plain, like Bob's 1-to-1, or a flour mix such as that. I'm starting off with 2 1/4 cups of warm water, and I may need to add even more than that. We'll just see how it goes. But I've got 2 1/4 cups of warm water. To that, I'm going to add 2 1/4 teaspoons or 1 pack of yeast and 2 tablespoons of sugar. And I'm just going to kind of dissolve all this together. And we're going to let it sit for about 7 to 8 minutes, and it will start doing its thing. You'll see it start getting really foamy, and then we'll start adding the rest of our ingredients. So we're going to set this aside and then start getting everything else ready. Okay, you see how it's kind of foamy and the yeast is starting to work? That's exactly what we want. Now, at this point, you've got, if you're using a flour blend that has xanthan gum in it, don't use any more. If you're not, you need to go ahead and add a tablespoon of xanthan gum, and then we're going to go ahead and add our olive oil, and we've got 2 tablespoons of it. Now, you can use whatever kind of oil you want. I just love olive oil. And we're going to mix that together. And then we're going to set this aside for a minute. And then we're going to go ahead and get our flour over here. Now, I've already shown you the flour that I'm using, and it's the Ancient Grains. So I've got 3 cups of it in here. And I've got the mixer. We're not going to use the dough hook. I do use the dough hook in a lot of my recipes, but right now what we're really trying to do is hydrate the flour mixture. Now, if you were using wheat flour, you would be mixing it with the dough hook to stretch the glutens in it. We don't have gluten, so we're going to hydrate it and work from there. I've got another video that I'll be posting on exactly how all that works and what you can use for substitutions. But right now, just take my word for it. So, we are going to put the salt in here with the flour, and then we're going to mix it on high speed for about 3 minutes just to get it all combined. Excuse me. Now that we've got this combined, we're going to add our yeast mixture. Our 2 eggs that are at room temperature, and a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. And then we're going to mix this until it's thoroughly combined. And this right here will take about 4 to 5 minutes on high. Okay, now that we've got it all mixed up, we're going to, and you see it is a sticky dough. This is correct, so don't add any more flour right now. I've got parchment paper and I've got my board that I worked on. And we're going to sprinkle a little bit of flour. I'll scrape down the inside first. Now we're going to sprinkle a little bit of flour around so we can work with it and get it out. We're not going to handle the dough too much. I don't want to make it tough. Get that flour out of the way. But we are going to work with it a little bit. And work with it just enough to get it to form a ball. That's why I said don't add any more flour while it was in there, because you're going to have to add some here to keep it from sticking to the parchment paper. And we don't want too much. Okay, I've got a large bowl here coated with olive oil. And we're going to take our ball of dough and just stick it in here. Get it oiled good. We're going to put a little bit more oil on the top. We're going to put some plastic wrap on here and let it sit until it doubles. And it'll take about an hour, maybe a little longer. It's cool in my kitchen this morning. You never know what the weather's going to do here. It was in the 70s yesterday, and it was 40 this morning, so it's kind of cool. And that tore, so I'm going to put another piece across it. And we're going to let it double in size, and then we'll get it ready to bake. Now, while this is setting aside, this is the Dutch oven that I'll be using. Just plain old Dutch oven. While the bread is rising, you need to preheat the oven to 450 degrees and put your Dutch oven empty, no oil, nothing, in the oven with the lid on, and let it be heating up while the bread is rising. And we'll be back in a little bit. Okay, it's been about an hour, and you can see that the dough is about doubled in size. So what we're going to do is dump it out up there onto the parchment paper. Going to knead it just a little bit, not much. And then make a ball out of it. We're going to cut just a little bit into it so the steam can escape while it's baking. And then very carefully remove your Dutch oven from the oven. Okay, remove your Dutch oven from the oven, and you're going to see the steam come out of it. It is very, very hot. And then we're just going to pick up parchment paper and everything and set it in there. We're going to cover it back up. I don't want that paper out because it will burn. We're going to put it in the oven at 450 degrees for 45 minutes. And then we'll come back and remove the lid and bake it for another 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set the timer for 45. And I'll see you then. Okay, it's been 45 minutes. We're going to let the steam out of the oven. We're going to remove the lid. And this is what we've got. And then it's going to... You know what? I don't think it needs to be in there another 10 minutes. We're going to let it sit and cool, then we'll come back and check it out later if you want a close-up. See if I can get it over here. Here we go. And I'm going to let that sit for a little bit. Okay, there we go. There is our loaf of bread. Just going to cut a little bit. Oh, it's soft too. And my dog is not happy with the cats out in the yard. Look at that. And it's so soft. And although it's hot, it is very, very delicious. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you try this bread. It is very good. Please click on the like button and subscribe, and then click the bell so you'll be notified of any other videos we upload. And I'm going to be trying to do several a day to get them all in before Thanksgiving, because I've got a lot of side dishes I want to make, this being one of them. Thank you, and have a blessed day.